Welcome back. We're going to put a locker in the rear end of the rat rod here, and as you can see, I've already got the brakes taken apart, so we have just our axle flange here, and we got the juice drained out of the rear end, and we got the cover already off, so we did that off screen so we can make this a little bit simpler. And it looks like our forklift decided to leak all over the floor this morning, and one of these days we need to replace the seal in the ram. Yeah, we probably won't get to that. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and get underneath here, and first thing we need to do is rotate our section around here till there it is when we get to our cube bolt. Now sometimes these things are really, really tight, and sometimes they're not so tight. There we go. Thanks. I think we got it. Yeah, we got this. This is a GM 12 volt rear end out of a square body C10 Chevy pickup, mid 80s. It was 85 that this came out of. Okay, we're going to pull this out. Jump in here. Pull this out. Okay, now we need to save those, but these spider gears, we can roll these up out of here. Okay, there's that one. We got the little cup washer behind it. Get the other one up there. We got the cup on that one. Okay, now this is why we took everything off for our brakes, is we got to slide our axles in and pull this C-clip out, which is right here. And we need to save that because we're going to put that back in also. I'm going to push our axle back out and pull this side gear out. And I don't know what you fellas have. You may have a Ford, Dodge, Chevy, whichever. Procedures here are pretty much all the same. Just make sure when you order your parts, you order them for the proper year and spline, axle spline, and a lot of times they go by how many holes. This here is a 12 bolt, which means there's 12 bolts that holds the cover on. Some have 10. Sometimes they go with the diameter of the ring gear. 8 inch, 8.5 inch, 9 inch. They all vary, depends on what you're looking for. Okay, I gotta see with this one. Push that axle in. Pull this C-clip out. Push the axle back. And there we go. Okay, now these also have a shim washer behind them too. You want to pull that out with it. Most of the time they'll stay with it because the grease will stick them to the gear, but you want to make sure that you get those out of there. Okay, this is our new setup. This is the one half of the locker that goes in where we just took this out. This goes in, and we put our C-clip through the axle, push that in there like that, pull the axle back out tight. We'll do the same thing to the other side, and it'll look something like that. And then we take these blocks, and they slide in like that. One here, one on the back side. And then you rotate them until they line up with this hole right here, and this pin goes down through there. Right back through here, right through here, and then we put this bolt through this hole here, back in through there, and that's what holds it all together. So, if everything works good, we'll have her together here in just a little bit. If not, well, I don't know. We'll figure it out. So, we'll take this, wiggle them up in there. Like that. Just hold some pressure against it, and we'll take this. Okay, there's our axle right there. Rotate this so you can see a little better. There's our axle. And here's the piece that I just put in. We're going to take our C-clip. And push this in a little further. It's not quite going in far enough. Okay. So, with that being happening, what we'll do is we'll push our axle back out. And I'll actually pull it out over here. Take it right out. Sit on the floor. We'll see if we can push our seal in further, which will allow our axle to go in further. And the seal right now is flush with the end of our housing, so we'll see if we can push that in a little bit further. Push it all the way up to the bearing. Okay, we gained about a 1/16, maybe 1/8 inch on that one. You'll probably be able to see this side a little better. So, again, I'm going to pull this out. This is our seal right here. So we'll tap this in. There you go. Tap it in until it hits our bearing race. It's not actually hitting the bearing itself, it's just bumped up against the race. So we'll be in good shape because we have a large area here where the axle is machined for the seal and the bearing. So what this will do is it will allow us to push our axles in just a little further. So hopefully we can get our C-clips in. And hey, it's just a rat rod, right? Push this axle in. Okay, we'll get it close and then I'll get the rest of you down here. Okay, there we go. See if we gained on it, where we can put our C-clip in. Yep, there we go. There's our C-clip. So now I'm going to push the axle back, and that little machined out area right there is going to hold our C-clip in. So now, do the same thing on this side. Okay, now that we got that started in there, we can put this side in. Okay, line our splines up. There we go. Yeah, we're still a little tight on this side, but we'll do what any old rat rodder will do. We'll break out the tapping stick and tap it in there. Push it back. There we go. So, we got our C-clips in both sides. Now what we got to do is take our blocks and get those lined up. Now this is very tight tolerances, so just a little bit of oil on the sides of these. See if that'll help slide it in there a little bit better. Okay, we got our blocks in. So what we're going to do now is we're going to rotate them up so we can get our pin in there. There we go, that should work. Now here's our pin. I'm going to start this. We're going to take our bolt and we're going to put it in like this because our bolt's got to go back here. So we're going to push that pin in just like that. So we're lined up. Move our bolt and just real easy push that in. There we go. Okay, our pin's lined up. So that gets tightened down. Okay, and just like that, we have a locked up rear end. So what that means is when this axle here spins like this, that one there also spins in the same direction. You don't have one going forward, one going backwards. So there it is, it's that easy. Now that we have this all done, the only thing we have to do is clean our pan up, put a new gasket on it, put it on there, put our bolts back in, and then put our brakes back together. And you've taken your brakes apart, you'll know how to put them back together. Once you pull this off, you know how to put that back together. So that's how you put your lockers together. Again, don't matter, Ford, Chevy, GM, GMC, Dodge, They pretty much all go together the same way as long as they have this back cover that comes off like this. The Ford 9-inch is a little different animal. The 8-inch, I guess, also. Some of the Dodges that come in through the front, that whole carrier comes out. That's a little bit different process, but the ones that have these back covers, pretty much all the same thing. Okay, so there you have it. Just have to button up the rest of it, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and leave us some comments. Hit the notification bar so it'll let you know when our next video comes out, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks.